What's up, everyone? Welcome to an Art of War Hangout and Hobby. I'm John Lennon. This is Danny McDevitt. Danny is joining us here live. He is from Mob Rules, possibly also Mog Rules, and Grim After Dark. We're just having a fun little hangout today. Nothing too crazy going on. We're doing it on a Friday for some strange reason. Truly, no one knows why. Yeah, it's a good day. There's always a lot of stuff to talk about, so we're just going to be here shooting the crap, probably both building models, and hanging out with you guys. How are you doing today, Danny?
Yeah, pretty good. It's a nice day out. Got the windows open, and I'm building models, and I haven't done that since I've had a big move here, so I'm super excited to get some hobbying done.
Yep. I am doing the exact same thing today. I'm going to be building up a bunch of, you're going to laugh when you hear it, a bunch of this stuff from the Closet of Shame that I haven't had a reason to build, but I'm hoping I get to use eventually, such as Hellblasters. Yeah, they have been new in shrink wrap for like 3 or 4 years. And you know what? They haven't gotten any worse in that time, so I figure I might as well build them now.
And who knows, maybe by some miracle they'll actually get better. I mean, yeah. I'm saying maybe. I'm not saying that's going to happen.
You know what?
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to get worse. That's my prediction.
There you go.
GW will update points for the game at least once in the next 12 months. Spoiler alert. And when they do, Hellblasters will not go up. That is my solemn promise to you all. And if they do, I am so sorry.
And if they do, you cannot legally hold me liable for them.
Exactly. I make that prediction by pulling it squarely out of my own butt. GW didn't tell me anything, but you know what? I just have a good feeling that Hellblasters are not going to increase in points. That's the best I got, actually.
They're ruining the meta, John.
Well, Hellblasters are ruining the meta. Someone like top 8'd at ACO with them, and I was like, how? But they did, and then they did it again. I think it's like Charlie Andre or something.
Really?
Yeah, like someone has taken Hellblasters to multiple top 8s at majors, and at that point, I'm like, why not? Right? I should paint them up.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, it sounds like they might deserve it a little.
Yeah, you know what? I love all things Space Marines, so today I'm going to be loving on the Primaris Hellblasters. We're going to make it happen. I would say what's the worst that could happen, but I actually know. And that's that I lose all 10 of them to a squig buggy on turn 1. That's the worst that could happen.
You hate to see it.
You know what? I really would be sad if that happened. If you see me like plop these on a YouTube stream, like, yeah, testing out the Dark Angels, and I just get like orked in one turn, just pour one out for me, okay? I didn't deserve it. Ooh, you can hear that nice rumble crinkle of the box. That's great. Yes, nice new plastic.
Are you going to crack it open and get a whiff of that brand new model smell?
Oh, yeah. It's not quite a new codex, but like...
Yeah, it's not the same.
Drink it in there, guys. That's great. Yeah. Wow, what a satisfying crinkle. I can hear my own audio, by the way. So like whenever the crinkle gets really loud for you, I hear it as well. So don't think that you're suffering alone. I'm here with you. All right, what are you working on today, Jen? You building some Hexfire?
Yeah. So I cracked open the Hexfire that I got. I'm going to build. I'm going to work on the characters first because I don't know. There's something wrong with me, and I'm not saving them as a reward. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, I like to build all the characters and then leave like half of the models unassembled in the closet as like I'll do it later, and we know later never comes.
Later never comes. Until today, apparently, when you're building Hellblasters.
Several, yes, several years later. Dun dun dun. We do have a couple people in the chat. What's up, Tim? What's up, SF? I assume, based on the lack of comments otherwise, that our audio is working just fine. Usually people tell me immediately when I mess that up, you know, about every other time. But today it seems to have been worked.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Got a couple questions here. I'm going to start with a fun one, actually.
Okay.
SF is asking me, since you guys are partners with Warpfire Minis, what has been the most damaged / destroyed / poorly painted model you have sent them, and how much credit did you get for it? Oh, SF, you are going to be mad at me when I tell you this. So here's the story. The third army that I ever owned was Space Marines. I split the Assault on Black Reach box with my buddy back in, I don't know, I'm gonna go conservative here and say 8th grade. This was a while ago, and by third army I mean like faction that I owned models from. I had like 500 points of Chaos Space Marines and like 1,000 points of Tyranids, and I got the Space Marine half of assaults on Black Reach. So I definitely painted that. I decided I was going to do a custom chapter, and because I was in 8th grade and I was going to be very Mary Sue about it. So I'm like, I'm gonna make a chapter that is going to be like the Lost Second Legion, because everyone likes to do the Lost Legions when they first do a Space Marine chapter before they really, mature. So I'm like, I'm gonna paint them yellow, and they're gonna have like a scorpion as their logo. So I'll like get all the Forge World stuff from Forge World for the red scorpions, and I'll like paint it black. They'll be the battle scorpions.
That sounds cool.
I never actually did this, by the way, but that was the idea.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyways, I didn't know that thinning your paints was something you should do. So I was gonna paint them yellow, because that's what any good middle schooler should do. So I primed them all black first, which is what you do before you paint yellow, right? Before you use your unthinned yellow paint, you want to start with a nice black undercoat. And then
as you do.
As one does. So straight out of the pot, I got like whatever used to be Iandon yellow, or whatever came before Iandon yellow, and just with a brush, just put it on all the models. And I was very disappointed when it dried, because it was very like patchy and terrible, as unthinned yellow over a black coat could only be. So I clearly decided the problem was that I needed to do more yellow. So we did a second coat, same thing, same problem. Did a third time. At that point, I was starting to run out of details on the models, so I decided I should stop putting yellow on, and I just painted what I could. And that, about 11 years later, was that really? Yeah, about 11 years later.
I was going to say, was this like 5 years ago?
No. About 11 years after that, I sent those guys off to Warpfire, and I got 50%. You're turning this into an ad. I got for like 10 tactical Marines that were like literally coated yellow. I got like $25 in store credit for 10 mono post tactical Marines.
No way.
Yeah, 50%. They straight up just give you 50. I don't understand how they're in business, but they keep on telling me that that they're doing well and we're partners. So it's like, great, if you guys are making it happen. They're like $25 in store credit for that. It's great. Like that and a bunch of like Metal Sisters of Battle turned into like 2 Imperial Knights that I didn't spend money on. It's just like new in box, just like 2 new one. Yeah, I sent them a bunch of like primed black Metal Sisters of Battle and like a bunch of literally vomited yellow monopost Space Marines, and I got 2 Imperial Knights. It was great. SF seems to be enjoying the story.
Wow. Like, man, I've got to check these guys out.
Yeah, if you have terribly painted models, I literally wasn't planning on turning this into an ad session, but here we are. Actually, as a friend, just like email them some pictures and just wait till they email you a dollar amount back, and then just mail them some crap. We've even sent them models that Nick has painted, and yeah, I know, right? Like, talk about low standards. Like the standards so low they could only be based out of Florida. That should be their tagline. I hope Warpfire Minis listens and cancels the partnership because I made fun of them. No, they're fantastic. They're a wonderful, wonderful story. We really enjoy doing business with. But yeah, got some more questions in the chat. One about apparently Goonhammer put out their meta-analysis today. I actually got to skim that, but I haven't really sat down with the stats on it yet. Apparently, Abhor the Witch is still the highest scoring secondary you can take. Yeah, you know what? On the one hand, should it be nerfed once more? Only if you want a balanced game. If you want to punish people who play witches, I think it's great. So just ask yourself what you're looking at here. Like, is a balanced game what you're after? If so, maybe just tone it down a little bit.
But like, all right, so it's always going to be one of the highest scoring secondaries because you're only going to take it in circumstances where,
because it's like
it's going to be valuable, right?
Yeah, like I'm pulling this up, by the way. We are plagiarizing Goonhammer right now. No, we're not. But we I remember reading it. We're citing Goonhammer. That's what they taught me in college. Cite your work. I'm scrolling down to the secondary thing because like the number of times it was taken was like ridiculous. Where okay, Abhor the Witch was picked 857 times over whatever period this was, and Stranglehold was taken 7,164 times. So, like, I don't know. I actually think Titan Hunter is the worst secondary, like the most unbalanced, because it just sucks when you roll up with your 3 model army and your opponent's like, So my secondaries just got easier, didn't they? And you're like, yeah.
Well, now though you've got to kill you actually got to kill 3 Titanic models to get it right. And
Yeah,
it's
you
not
have
just...
you have to kill 3 to get like a good. I think 2 is still like 12 points or something, or maybe it's
yeah,
like 9.
that sounds right. I mean, it's still decent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know it's a hard one to balance.
Right.
I actually wouldn't mind if I see. I don't know, because how do you have to make it better than different than assassinate, because otherwise you just take assassinate, because almost all psychers are characters anyway.
Sure.
Maybe you do it it's only 1 point for killing a psyker unit, because psychic units are so rare. It's literally just for Thousand Suns and Grey Knights, right?
Yeah.
And Zoanthropes, but okay.
Yeah, the only other one. I mean, I was thinking the battle psychers from the Imperial Guard. That was the only other unit that I. Oh, and Eldar. Eldar have.
Oh yeah, they've got their conclaves. That's true. Maybe the Imperial, maybe if it's Imperium, an Imperium psyker should only give up 1 point, but a non-Imperium should still give up 3. I don't know, something fair and balanced.
Oh yeah, thanks, Mr. Imperium.
I also play Genestealer Cult. Sometimes. At least every year I like to play at least 2 games with Genestealer Cult just to prove that I have the model still.
I was going to say to remind yourself why you don't.
Oh boy. Apparently Grey Knight's new Warp Ritual secondary is averaging around 10 points a game. Yeah, but Grey Knights are so new, I don't really care. If it's the same thing in after September, I guess I'll pay attention. Let's see here. 14 Dead Souls is saying, I wondered what had happened to the guy who said that they would still do the Mob Rules podcast. Guys, don't worry.
Hey,
He's here
we
now.
just released an episode last night.
Last night? Look at that. That was probably this morning for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're expecting spicy hot cakes, which I guess we can provide. SF is saying, all right, poorly painted stuff is one thing. What about damaged models? You know what, SF? I got another one for you. So I sent them, here, we're going back to middle school John again. So the second army that I tried to collect was Chaos Space Marines. But of course, again, being an ambitious 7th grader at the time, I was like, I can't just, do a normal army even though I'm in 7th grade. I have to do a Horus Heresy themed army. Again, I really liked looking at pictures of Forge World stuff that I couldn't afford. So I built and painted a bunch of Iron Warriors without heads, because I was going to get some third-party heads from online, but I never got around to it. So what I ended up doing was, again, Warpfire. I mailed them about 40 old Chaos Space Marines without helmets, and then I mailed with them a Ziploc bag of 40 Tactical Marine helmets. And they accepted that. And I got 50% of that store credit back. Gotta Lehman Russ. Danny is in pain right now.
Wow.
Oh yes, it's the best.
Yeah, man. I've got a ton of stuff I need to kind of trim down here. So that would definitely be nice to get some store credit towards a different army that I would rather have.
14 Dead Souls. We have not sent the models Nick has made. He's actually very attached to those. He has the. We actually do still have some of the modeling clay brimstones that he used in 7th edition. Oh. Yeah, you remember that story? Yeah, that's the worst. We still have some of those. There's actually one on the mantle of our fireplace. There's 3 models on there. It's an Orion gunship, a Taunar, and 1 clay brimstone.
That's all the 40K models that you let into the normal living space?
Yeah, we try to keep it relatively minimal.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, it's still a house. We all have friends that don't play Warhammer, so which is always weird, because Richard and Nick and I all live together, and we all have Nick and I have friends, and sometimes those people come over and we'll have a normal conversation around the dinner table, and then Nick and I will kind of sidetrack it into so do we think Knights have any merit in a team format? And then someone's just gonna stare at us until we stop. It's yeah, sorry, it was an accident, slipped out there.
Yeah, it's hard when there's an overlap, and you guys also have a giant passion for it.
Yes. Yes. Well, we're trying to beat that passion out of Nick as hard as possible. It's
by making it your profession.
absolutely.
Oh, I'm just kidding. You guys have a job that most people would consider to be a dream job. So,
Yes.
yeah, very lucky.
As with rolling dice, we are very lucky, and that's the secret to our success. Yes, 14 Dead Souls, an Orion gunship, and a town art. I don't know where else to put the Orion, if I'm being honest. We have a bunch of shelves, but the Orion is too thick to actually put on them. So, and then the town art is too tall. So
Just too juicy for normal
they're
shelves.
both too juicy for normal shelves. So it's like, well, I don't want to just like put this in the closet because that like takes up an insane amount of space. So we just put it on the mantle. Yeah, we are very subtle, absolutely. People get assaulted by that thing when they walk into the room. It's like, hey, remember the 3 months, summer 2019, the last time they saw the table? It was a good 3 months. All right, I need to actually start. I need to actually start clipping out some models here. Danny's working hard and multitasking, and I am slacking.
Well, you're checking the chat. I can't even see my computer screen from here. I'm just winging it.
No
As
problemo.
I do.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Here for some genuine content.
Yeah, as you can tell from all the content that I produce, it's 90% winging it.
Honestly, we should have actually made this a live session of Mob Rules. If you hadn't already put one out last night. Right? Like, we advertised it as a hangout and hobby. That's how you lure them in. Because, I'm sure no one actually watches Mob Rules. But,
It's true.
yes.
Well, at least I hope they don't. Like,
Please, stop.
yep. That's our Patreon model, actually.
The Biff Pod Patreon? Wait, the Mob
Yeah, no,
Rules
that's
Patreon?
a different one. That's our
Okay.
second Patreon.
It's good to have a backup.
For sure.
Oh, man. These stupid Primaris Marines. They're just so tastefully thick.
So what's the next thing you're working? What's the next big event you're working towards?
Next big thing for me is the Las Vegas team event. I kind of went crazy for like a month, and I just like went to like 2 majors and also Charity Hammer in like a 3-week span.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and by the end of it, I had like actually forgotten what my own bed looked like. I was like, I didn't remember how to drive my car because I'm like, wow, I haven't been home in a month. So I'm taking a couple weeks of not doing that.
Good.
And I'm just enjoying being at my house for a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's really healthy and important.
I agree. But after that, we're going to rock out to the Las Vegas team tournament. Thank you, Gundam, for the $5 super chat. Gundam cheered $5 and said, "The cheeks of my Orion are too dummy thick to fit anywhere." Thank you, Gundam.
This guy gets it.
Yeah, Gundam knows that the way to make me say literally anything on stream is to attach a $sign to it, because boy am I a Floridian at heart. All right. Ooh, hold on. All right, since Danny is here, we need to get John's worst character in 4 Hammer 40k ever. 14 Dead Souls, little did you know that I've already inspired an episode. Asterisk.
It's true. It's true.
It's 100% true. I watched a couple of those episodes, and I reached out to Danny, and I'm like, you know who's even worse? This one Tau guy. What's his name? Like, Commander... Kais? Yeah, it's like K''AIS. That guy's the worst.
He's pretty bad. He was on the top list for a while.
You know what? I'm proud of that, actually. I'm proud of us. Because boy, did he deserve it.
He did. He's pretty dumb.
He's pretty dumb. So the reason I hate Kais so much, and maybe people, we're gonna give you a rich version here. Basically, it's because one of my very good buddies, Brohammer teammate Will Taylor, who I do a podcast with, he loves him, and so naturally, you know what my response is going to be. Wake up and choose violence. So I just thought he was like a boring character, like just like any like one of the stereotypical like in Dawn of War characters, like Gabriel Angelos, Farseer has a name. I don't know what the Farseer's name was, but like all of the Dawn of War characters are like
Taldir? That sounds, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they like changed Farseers at some point.
They did. Because they switched craft worlds.
Exactly. So like all of those characters I just thought of as like generic carbon copy, like cut and paste versions of their faction, right? Like this is a Space Marine. He is noble and also angry all the time, right? and like very tactically smart. This is a commander. He is good at tactics like shooting and running away. Great. So I just thought he was a generic guy. And apparently he was like also the dude in Fire Warrior, a game that came out, you know, before I was born, probably.
So they have retconned it so that he is, I think, a different character with the same name.
Oh, okay. All right. That was, you know what? You can understand why that confused me.
Yeah.
There's like 3 Tau characters, and apparently 2 of them are named Kais. Great. Okay, so, and then after that, I read a Dark Angel book. It was like War of Secrets or something, or Secret Wars. It involved the Fallen because it was a book that had Dark Angels in it. And they all do. And yes, 100%, he dunked on the Dark Angels, 14 Dead Souls. Where like this one dude who apparently gets like frozen in stasis, just like in his suit, just gets airdropped on a fortress monastery and just goes Michael Jordan through the whole team. Like 1v5, he does it all. They actually call an orbital bombardment on their own fortress monastery to try to kill this single battlesuit. This one battlesuit gets an orbital bombardment through the fortress monastery on him. Like the Space Marines in orbit are like, all right, there's one Tau inside our literal homeworld. And it's like, well, have we tried killing him? We did try that, yes. Didn't work? No, it didn't. What if we blow up our entire home? Yeah, that's not an overreaction. It's like if I burned down this house with like all of my chapter relics, aka my Tyranid army. Like if I burned that down because of an aggressive spider. I don't know. I just hated it. I hated everything about it. Like orbitaling your own fortress monastery to kill the one and only Tau inside. I hated it. It was like the worst written thing that I've ever read for 40K, and I read the whole book anyways for no reason at all.
It was pretty bad. And like the saddest part about it is like the Fortress Monastery was from the Angels of Absolution, which are like probably my favorite Dark Angels successor chapter.
Yeah, they're like actually cool looking. Like they have a good like color scheme. Yeah, it's War of Secrets by Phil Kelly, which hurts even more because I like Phil Kelly. Yeah. That's the part that hurts. You betrayed me, Phil.
You betrayed me with your Tau love.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. That was not like. Otherwise, I really liked that book. The thing about him that I did like about Kais in that book is that he had been awake in stasis for like 1,000 years or something like that. So he was totally batshit insane.
I did like that part that he was just completely crazy. Because you know what? I do get bored of Tau characters who are serene and calm, right? Because they like to do like there's like 50 of them. So I was happy that he was batshit crazy. That did like spice it up a little bit. Like the other Tau were like low-key afraid of him, and they were like, no, don't talk to Kais. He's crazy. Just point and aim, and don't be in the same room at any point. like the Ethereals were like, no. You do not talk to Kais. No one talks to Kais besides me. He will infect you with the crazy. He is that crazy. That was fun.
It was. Man, Crow is dope.
Crow's a dope model. He's also just Primaris. Like, I acknowledge they didn't give him the keyword, but like, he is Primaris.
But like, he's got the little like bubbles on his ankles. Yeah,
like I'm building a Primaris guy too right here. They are one and the same. They have the same armor. They have the same little Buzz Lightyear things on their ankles. They have the same shoulder pads. Like this man's Primaris. Also, on this stream, I'm going to make you build that one Strike Marine purely so that you can hold him next to Crow and just like be in awe at the absolute size of this unit.
I'm just going to be mad. I'm not going to do it, John.
Oh, Danny. But you want to be mad, don't you?
I think I'm probably going to. I have a pretty big Grey Knights army. I think I have about. Okay, so this is going to sound ridiculous, but it's true. I have 100 Grey Knight Terminators.
Danny, do you need me to give you the warp fire plug just one more time?
Oh, they're so bad right now. And it's so disappointing, right? Like,
didn't they lose their -1 damage?
Yeah, I don't think they have a way to get -1 damage. You can have transhuman Terminators for Grey Knights, but I don't think...
Yeah, but it costs more CP than it does for normal Space Marines for no
really
reason
does.
at all.
Well, because they have to try harder because they're not Primaris.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, that just hurts me a little bit, that's all. No, really nothing else to it. That just hurts a little bit.
Yeah, I am excited to see, like, to put those guys on the table too. Like, okay, so I've been playing AdMech for the last few months, as you can tell by my tray right next to me.
Mm-hmm.
If you can tell, they're all black and silver. Who knows? Anyway, but I've been really missing the psychic phase. I'm not gonna lie. So I think I might switch to a psychic army for a bit, or just play them for a couple of games.
Mm-hmm. Grey Knights do look fun.
Yeah.
I've played against them like once or twice. I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually have no idea what this army is supposed to look like on the tabletop. Like, having played against it, I don't know what's happening. Like, the first time I ran out of models, and then the second time, like, I thought I was losing, and then all of a sudden I walked around to look at my opponent's side of the board, and there was like Crow and 5 Strike Marines left. I'm like, oh, hold on, was that it? And he's like, yeah, I don't have anything in reserves. I'm like, oh, sweet.
I'm doing it.
I'm like, wow, I thought I was losing here. Like, turn 1, it was like, that Dreadnought takes 8 armor saves and also 8 mortal wounds because I rolled 4 6s to wound with an Interceptor squad. I'm like, holy shit. Oh yeah, Richard did the absolute disrespect of like, multi-charging 2 Redemptors and killing them both with 1 Interceptor squad. I'm like, ooh.
Whoa, with 5 guys?
It was a 10-man. He went full hog. But he split the attacks 8-2, and I'm like, okay, I guess he just really wants to kill one and then maybe wound the other. The 2 guys were like, yeah, 6 attacks, 4 6s to wound. I'm like, he's like, yeah, so that's 8 saves and also 8 mortal wounds. I'm like, what? I'm like, come again, Governor? Like, what?
What's happening right now?
Oh, I'm in danger.
I need an adult.
Yeah, I was part of that experience.
Yikes.
I just showed up for that one. I was like, oh god. Yeah, but then all of a sudden they were just out of Grey Knights and I still had models left. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the meta list ends up being for them. I mean, I think it's obviously going to be kind of a lot of just power armored
bullshit running around. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that sounds like the play, and some characters and maybe some Dreadknights.
Mm-hmm. Got a couple questions sneaking in from the chat. Gundam is asking, is the team event free to the public? It looks like it is. Yeah, my understanding is that if you want to just like show up and say hello to the Las Vegas Teams event, I'm pretty sure you can do that.
Yeah.
I'm like not 100%, but I'm willing to put a limit out on like 80% sure that you can do that.
Yeah, it's just I don't think it's a convention, so I think it's just a tournament at a hall. So I don't know if there's going to be security at the venue.
It's actually just Reese.
It's just
Reese on all the doors at once.
Mustache power, pure mustache power.
That's enough to deter me. I don't know, man.
Yeah, same.
Are you going to be at the Las Vegas team event?
So I was going to go, and then I was worried about like the potentiality of me getting COVID, like, and that really screws up a bunch of stuff for me. Not like actually getting sick, but just like I have to like stay home from class and everything else, and it would be a huge like
be a big no-no.
So I decided that I wasn't going to go.
Understandable. Yeah, I say that I'm going to a bunch of these tournaments, but then also like I haven't bought my tickets yet. 'Cause I'm kind of like keeping an eye on the news, like because maybe not. Like,
right.
I bought my tickets to the event, so it doesn't sell up like hotels and flights. I'm like, yeah, let me just see, how the trends are going.
Right, exactly, and I think that's a really important consideration to take into account.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, and I would say if somebody feels comfortable doing it, like they should do it. But like, for me, it just wasn't the right choice.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully things will calm down, and I'll see you at another event later this year.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I think regardless, I'm going to try and do LVO because that's like too important for me not to go to. So
Agreed.
at the very least, that I do have a ticket for SoCal still.
Ooh, spicy. Let's see. 14 Dead still says that they like Grey Knights in a World Eater Berserker style list, just Strike Marines and Rhinos. What a madman.
I want to see it. Do it.
Mm-hmm. Dun dun dun. Let's see. Interceptors are just silver corn raptors, and they both kill paladins. Oof. Oh, because yeah, interceptors aren't jump packs, so they just like take up like one slot in the transport, right?
Yep.
So they go fast. That's actually kind of cool.
Real fast.
You got to go fast. Okay, I like that. Maybe we can bust some rhinos in there. What's up, Murat Ferguson? And then what's up, Snivar? Snivar's asking about the Reaver Lieutenant that I use in my White Scar list. I actually like literally never use Terror Troops, and it's so cool. It's like, yeah, a character with Rights of War and Terror Troops. It's so cool, but like it never comes up. And usually I just kind of tell people like, hey, I can do this thing. So if you put OBSEC on this objective, I'm going to spend the 2 CP. And they're like, well, I'm not going to waste my OBSEC units on this. Then I'm like, well, then I'm not going to waste my 2 CP on this, and we just kind of move on with our lives. So it's nice to have. It's like the point where like if I'm going to take a Lieutenant, I would rather have access to that than just have a power sword. Because, you know, power swords are cool, but like, yeah, you know, strat like could actually win the game. And you know what, if I need that power sword, I guess I'll feel dumb later. But it wasn't enough to keep the Lieutenant in the list overall. I ended up swinging a little chaplain action in there.
Yeah, chaplains are also very good, it turns out.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he rides a bike. He's kind of a badass.
Yeah.
I started putting the 5-up Feel No Pain against Mortal Wound, you know, in there. And,
okay.
You know,
I can
yeah.
see that.
And it's like, yeah, because, you know, sisters like Vomit Mortals. Orcs apparently just charge you for 10d3 mortals. Never really sure what happens there. You know, their vehicles move when they explode to get more of your guys. I'm like, ooh, don't like. The one time that happened, I'm like, wow, don't like what's happening here. It's like, wow, really not a fan of this. Okay.
Yeah, and that might become. I mean, I think that stuff all becomes more valuable too with these 2 psychic armies that kind of appeared in the meta too. Because Thousand Suns is pretty good.
Yeah, Thousand Suns has some Mortal Wound output, and like Deny the Witch or Abhor the Witch is dope, but doesn't matter if you're dead.
Right.
And you know, Marines just do not have that many wounds to chew through. So I was like, you know what, let's sneak this chaplain in here. Let's see if he does some work for me.
Yeah, 10 mortal wounds a turn, like on average, is probably enough to make people worried about stuff.
Yeah, it's so many mortal wounds, man. I got hit by the like, yeah, I'm just gonna add D3 to this, and also that D3 is gonna be a 3, and oops, that was 2 super smites in a row, and I'm like, oh good. For me, you shouldn't have.
We're having fun.
Yeah, I was like, oof. Dun, 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 dun. Yo, thank you, Gundam, for the $10 super chat. You are a hero. Pro traveler tip from Gundam. Use the booking app to book hotels with no money down and free cancellation. Fly through Delta since you can get credit. I should fly through Delta. The problem is that Tallahassee, despite sounding like an important city because it is both the state's capital and has like a huge university here, is actually tiny and its airport sucks. I didn't really like know that until I moved here, and I was like every single time I get in a plane in Tallahassee, it's like one of those tiny planes where there's like 2 seats in it total, and I'm like, oh, okay, like this is what I expected, and then it like flies me to Atlanta, and then they're like, please sir, step on the real plane now. I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess while I'm here. So, but that is good advice though, and I will. I'm actually looking into that because I do also hate buying planes at the last minute because that's just sadness and regret.
Well, you know, you can book through Delta and they'll use like a carrier airline or whatever, so it'll count towards all of your like your reservation and stuff like that. So you should still be fine.
Fancy. I'm gonna try that. Thank you, Gundam. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Questions from Clown Mode. How does my sister's list beat Indirect? Also, my friend is using my Double D McCarran list and lost into Sisters. See, you know what? The Double D McCarran list had Indirect in it, and Sisters just won, so ask your friend how he lost, and that's how I win. No, actually, though, honestly, Sisters is, you're gonna take some casualties, and you're just trying to make them shoot rhinos and have your characters not be shootable, and you just kind of try to weather it for a turn or two before you go beat them up. Most of the armies that have Indirect right now are actually not that great. Like the armies that I think of that are, like, Indirect are, like, Guard, Craft World, Tyranids, and like Death Guard. And like a couple of those armies aren't bad, but none of those armies are like really top tier either. So I think right now is a good time to be vulnerable to Indirect. Not that you ever want to be, but just because there's not as many of them in the meta right now. But then like I played a very Indirect heavy Eldar army with Sean Naden at Lone Star. It's scary, but honestly, there's a point where you put 10 units on the battlefield and say, I bet you're not going to kill all 10 of these. And you know what? So far, I haven't lost that bet. But boy, am I going to look stupid when I do.
Like, we don't want another drop pod situation here, John.
See, that wasn't Indirect, so it doesn't count. It's much less embarrassing. 14 Dead Souls is pointing out that Orcs have Indirect. And that's true, but also, like, forests sometimes exist. And once they do, Orcs no longer have Indirect. It's actually funny how that works. They can't shoot through trees. Like, they can shoot through walls, but trees, absolutely not, good sir.
The squigs get lost, like there's squirrels and stuff. Like, I get it.
Exactly. Like, they, like, bite onto the branches, and they're just, like, hanging there like, was this it? Just going for a stick, trying to bring it back for the Orcs.
Aw.
Right, I know. I mean, squigs are actually very gentle. It's about how you raise them. Squigs.
Nurture versus nature, I guess, in that case.
Exactly. Yeah, and I've played a couple games against Orcs. I think I've played 3 or 4 times into Orcs with my sisters. The squig buggies are, like, cool, but if you have Sacrosanct in cover, you get a pretty good save against it. Because they're in the AP2, so if you have a 2-up and then light cover, you're usually pretty good. Because if you're taking 3-ups, and they don't really reroll much with Orcs, like you'll take some casualties, but you're not losing the whole squad. And then they're also not very good into rhinos, and they're really bad into rhinos that pop the smoke launcher thing. So I'll pop smoke when the +1 to wound buggy shoots me, and then the other 2 ones, like they can shoot a different rhino that's not wounded. They'll hit on 4s, wound on 5s, and I'll make a save, and then that's just kind of what happens. So not too worried about the Orc Indirect, frankly. But again, now that I've said that out loud, I'm going to lose all 10 Primaris Hellblasters in 1 turn to a single squig buggy.
You guys heard it here first. Just, I can't wait to see that next game against Orcs.
Yeah, and I am going to transhuman, by the way. I'll spend the 2 CP. It will not help. When Orcs set their mind to something, there's a 1% chance that everything goes wrong. Orcs do look fun. Like, I'm not an Orc player, and I have no intentions of jumping on the Orc bandwagon here. But, like, I just don't have the stones to look my opponent in the eye and just, like, pull the slot machine and just see what happens. Like, I can't do it. It's like, hey, buddy, like, I just want you to know you're either going to have 2,000 points or 1,000 left at the end of my shooting phase. There is nothing in between. I can't do it. I don't know if I'm brave enough.
It's pretty fun if you can let it go. I tried to do the Ludas at the end of 8th or whatever. Mm-hmm. And maybe I guess it wasn't the end of 8th. I guess it was the middle, right?
I mean, anything pre-Space Marines is the end of 8th because, you know, Space Marines ended 8th. It's like, we're done now.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we both rode that Iron Hand bandwagon train together. I remember.
Yes, we did. But it was fun, and honestly, I still like my Iron Hands a lot. I would like to start playing them again a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I think that they have some lists and some play that's pretty viable.
Yeah, you know, like I think Alex Harrison won a GT with them or something. Like Iron Hands have like been showing up and doing work, and that's until they do it with the Leviathan, I'm going to watch from the sidelines. But if someone else figures out how to bring the Leviathan back, I am in there like swimwear. Like I will be ready. I'll come back. Like you know that's my baby. Everyone else hated me for it apparently, but you know what? I don't regret it. Yo, Gundam, thank you so much for your support, Gundam. Gundam says that his real-life Custodes transformation is well underway. He ordered a pair of 100-pound weight plates last night. A pair of 100-pound plates is 200 pounds, according to my basic head math, which means that at that point, you can lift me up very easily. So good for you, because I can't even do that. But
one pull-up, too many.
But Gundam, that is fantastic, man. Good luck on your journey. Once you have the rippled, oily abs, then you deserve the golden armor.
For sure.
That is the order of operations, though. You have to get the oily muscles first. If you're not oiling your muscles, though, I just don't think it counts.
I just don't even want to see it. I don't care about it at all.
Exactly.
Oh, man. How does this even go together? Interesting. Maybe I should look at the instructions.
That's a coward's way out.
Yeah.
Blessed is the mind too small for instructions.
There we go.
I'm pretty sure I saw that on Warhammer Plus. The Iron Hand's untargetable Volkite Contemptor is pretty nice. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. If there's one thing I like more than Dreadnoughts that can't die, it's Dreadnoughts that can't be shot at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I also love that it's the only character in the game that's also core.
Yeah.
What
How weird is that?
What a jerk, right?
That's a super interesting rules interaction.
Yep. Good old 8th edition rules sneaking in there. And then you combine it with a Forge World unit. That is my favorite thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you know it's the rules team never saw it coming.
Well, do they often?
Yeah, like, is that actually any different? I don't know. All right. The Snivar is asking, what makes the Sanguinary Guard hit so hard? Oh boy. So Sanguinary Guard have first of all, I mean, Blood Angels hit hard. That was really never the problem with them. So I think in their codex they got a buff to 3 attacks each. So they're 32 points each. They're 3 attacks base. And then Shock Assault generically takes them to 4. Always a good roll, love me some Shock Assault. And then when they're in the Blood Angels Super Doctrine, when they're in Assault Doctrine, they get, hold on, Savage Echoes, where they get +1 attack.
Yep.
So they just walk around with 5 attacks. And then their weapon skill 3, not the worst thing in the world. I myself am merely weapon skill 6. But Sanguinary Guard, weapon skill 3, they have a rule where when they're within 6 of your Warlord, they get +1 to hit, and that's shooting and combat. So they basically hit on 2s, shooting and combat. And at that point, if that guy happens to be a captain or a chapter master, you don't even need to give them full rerolls. It's just like, hey, you're hitting on 2s, and also this guy probably gives a reroll aura anyway because he's a character. So cool, hit on 2s, reroll 1s. So you're 5 attacks each with an axe or strength 6 +1 to wound, AP 3, damage 2. That's a lot of just wounds. And +1 to wound and +1 to hit is a great way to get around jerks who say don't reroll anything, like Custodes. When most people rumble into Custodes with a power sword, they're like, all right, no rerolls, -1 strength, you win me on 6s, go away. And then Blood Angel rerolls, I'm +1 to hit and wound. And it's ooh, that's actually gonna hurt. Now it is bad into transhuman, but that's where just having 5 attacks kind of comes in. And if you have reliable hits, then just rolling a bunch of dice and seeing how many 4-ups come out of it usually works.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's it. It's good. I don't think Sanguinary Guard are amazing, but they have a cool gun. That one turn they're in Tactical Doctrine, it actually hurts to get shot by them.
Yeah, can't they pop a strat too for reroll to wounds on that too, or something like that? Does that still exist?
I don't think it does anymore, but I don't actually know that. I'm just assuming that Jack would have used it on me if it existed. I haven't read Blood Angels.
Maybe it ignores cover or something like that. I know they can do something with them.
Yeah, something with the Angel's Bolt guns. They definitely had something in their Psychic Awakening. I don't know if that made it to the Codex. Codex took a lot of the mojo out of that one, honestly. So yeah, I'm not really sure there. But I mean, Sanguinary Guard are just solid units. They don't have an invuln, which is kind of the big problem, but they do have a 2-up armor. So sometimes you put them in cover, and an entire shooting phase bounces off of them, and then sometimes one Devastator squad with grav cannons kills the entire unit. Yeah, I don't know if you happened to watch yesterday's game. Spoiler alert, sorry. Sometimes that happens, and I apologize for nothing.
Nor will he ever.
Nor will I. What's up, Gundam? That is Gundam, that is a fantastic goal right there. That is a lot more than I can bench. Not that I've checked in a while. Don't know if you've seen these. These are some painting arms right here. What's up? Tim Taylor, John, my Freeblade Knights and Scions have been killing it. Can't wait to see what I do with Knights next. Any hints? Tim, that is a wonderful question because truly I don't know what I'm doing next with knights. However, I know my options, and that is that I'm trying to get some, trying to paint up some more X's. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm trying to convince Nick Nanavati to play Imperial Knights at the team tournament. He has told me no many times, but you know what? The dream lives on. Until he submits a list for, probably Dark Eldar. I'm just going to try to get him to play Knights. Because you know what? I think like in a team format, I think you bust out the Castellan again. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
I don't
like,
think that's bad.
team tournament, you do 2 Megaras, you do 1 Castellan, and you do like 3 Armigers. And that is 6 models. And you know what though? That's some energy right there. Like when you put that on the table, like your opponent like pauses. Like, hold on. What? It's like, yeah.
I thought we were done with I thought we were done with this.
What year is it? Like, hey, remember how we were all saying like, 2020 went by so fast? It's still 2019 for me. Here's a Castellan. No one misses it.
No, no, like literally no one.
Not a single person. Let's see. Knights are great in teams. I believe that. I genuinely do. I love Knights. I don't think that they're like an amazing army, but I think they're a much better army than people think. So, and I like playing them because I painted up a Knight army in quarantine because, I mean, what else was I going to do, right? I bought an airbrush and I'm like, what would be a good army to start that I don't own any models for, but like, if I'm going to paint yellow, I wanted to do like 7 models total. Knights.
Smart.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't want to do another yellow Space Marine army. Learned from that one pretty quick.
But you profited from it, is what I heard.
You know what?
So...
somehow we made it all work. Does Art of War sell dice sets? We don't at the moment. However, that's definitely something we're looking at for the future. So stay tuned, maybe. We have a $5 super chat from SF. Thank you so much. And I'm actually going to tie into that a question from Diego as well. Diego's question was, what are your thoughts on the 17 Orc Buggy list? And SF's thoughts are, how do you play against Orc Squig Buggy Spam with Adamek, Grey Knights, and Tau? So tying all of that together, I assume that we're referring to Manny Chima's, army list from the other day. I don't know if I can put strong enough air quotes on army list, but you know what? If Control C and V are the only keys that work on your board, you do what you can.
It's like the meme, is this an army?
Yeah. It's all right. Enough shade. It's a good list. Like I'm not going to tell you that that's terrible. I personally really don't enjoy those kind of things. Like I've played some pretty offensive lists at various points. I only have so much room to talk here. But like I don't know, I don't like building lists like that because I feel like they're too one-dimensional and they're prone to just like what if things go bad and it's like, oops, that was my only plan. Like that's a lot of damage, but also what if you play against someone with Telemon and you're just like, ooh, I didn't have a backup plan for this. Right?
John, that's what happened to me this weekend. Like, double Telemon's got me.
Like, Telemons walk on an objective, Trajan stands behind it, so there's OBSEC, and I feel like the Custodes player just gets their points, and he doesn't actually shoot you back. Like, you just shoot 18 Squig Buggies at Telemons for 5 turns, and like, it's bottom tier by the end of the game, though. Like, you have wounded this one Telemon by the end of the game with your 18 Buggies. But, man... Like, I don't see... I don't know. I just get worried about lists like that because anytime you do something one-dimensional, someone might accidentally solve your one dimension.
Sure.
So, as far as playing against it with a balanced army, I would say that move blocking is the name of the game. I would say that that is very important. And you can... you know what? Honestly, if you play against that, you should probably pick secondaries that do not involve yourself being alive on turn 5. I'm going to start with that one. So, like, I wouldn't take to the last against 19 Squig Buggies. Or whatever, or Buggies in general, because it's probably like 9 Squig Buggies, 9 Rocket Jets, and then there's something, and then there's like the war boss.
Sure, the Death Killer.
Yeah, the Def Killer War Trike, that guy. So that's what I'm thinking is try to focus on move blocking, getting your points, denying them their score as much as they can, and just play the mission and try to outplay them. That is always my number one. Dun, dun, dun.
It's so interesting to me, John, like how orcs have kind of evolved from like almost like you have to play this horde army to now it's very much like if you're not playing all vehicles and buggies, like your list is bad. And it's been like this. It was crazy how much the new codex has kind of warped that book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and like all the blast rockets is just a ton of way to fire.
Oh yeah.
If you can get negative to hits in your list, though, boy does that help. Man. Like, you know what? What if the hard counter is actually all the AdMech players switching to Styges?
And so that was literally like the reason I brought Styges to the Charity Hammer GT. I'm like, I feel like I'm going to play against Orcs. I think Styges is the best Forge World against Orcs.
Yeah. Like, because what is it? It's like, it's light cover if you're like 12 inches away, but then if you're also in light cover, you then become -1 to hit. Or like you become dense cover.
No, it's just dense cover over 12 inches.
Oh, well, that's still pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, no, that's actually just like, you see, like, I feel like Buggy Spam would not have as much fun into that.
No.
I really genuinely believe that. And, you know, you can always do the, like, try to out-damage them path. Like, I think if you play Imperial Guard, you have a exactly 50% chance of tabling that buggy list very quickly. Exactly 50%, you know, no reason. But like,
it's very scientific.
It's yeah, extremely. You know, we really break down the math of that in the war room. Nick will coach you on how to roll a 5+. But like, I don't know. Like from a me playing a perspective, I don't like that playstyle army. It just makes me nervous. Obviously, it works for some people. Yeah. Manny had some great success with it. As far as playing against it, especially if you yourself are running a more balanced list, my advice is try to move block. You know, play the mission and try to like remove like threats on a flank, and then block anything else from moving into that stuff. Like if you can get your line of sight guns to see like 3 buggies and then move block so that no buggies can walk into that spot, then kill the 3 or 4 buggies that you can kill in your shooting phase, and then like charging it in to kill another buggy and move block anything from getting past to shoot your guns, and just kind of like work your way around the corner shooting a couple of them. Because like that's how you beat the old mech guns. Like people deploy 18 mech guns, they'd be like, you don't understand. 18 mech guns kills every Deathwing Terminator in this tournament turn 1. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's probably true. And you know what? I've never actually been shot by a mech gun before. It's kind of weird. Like, like I would usually like put like a land speeder storm blocking a rune, and then they'd be like, hey, I'm gonna fire these 11 mech guns at the 1 land speeder storm. Like, don't even bother, buddy. It's okay. Like, I'm gonna pick up the storm, and you can just fire the other 10 at something else. Oh yeah, the wall. Good. Have fun. So I don't know. That's always my solution. You know what? Maybe it'll be hard for that when I put it on the table, assuming anyone on this side of the pond buys 17 of those. But we will see.
Yeah, I definitely don't rate them anymore. Not nearly as much as I did before, because it's harder to bring quite as many, and the boy spam to back them up, which is what really made the list like fearsome, like, or that style of list, I feel like, is not there anymore.
Yeah, I 100% agreed on that. Have you built a normal Marine yet, Danny?
I'm building. No, I'm not building Strike Marines right now. I have no time for that.
Come on, Danny. You've got to have one on the shelf just to look at.
No, I don't. Like. All right. I mean, I have a Skitarii Ranger, and I can tell you that Crow is like at least 8 feet tall. So I'm happy about that.
There you go. Yeah, Crow's been hitting the gym. I don't know how else to say it.
Dude, he's huge.
Crow is a big
you know
boy.
What I do have? Hold on, I got some Dark Angels.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Get me a manlet. Come on, give me a Devastator or something.
What is this? Oh, that's an Orc Commandos.
Yeah. God, it's like that time where like I like busted out Pharaohs and like I built him for the first time, and I built him like, you know, at the dining room table, like didn't have any models nearby, and I was like, yeah, this is a pretty good sized model, and then I like went and like slapped him on the shelf. I'm like, excuse me, what? Oh, here we go. Oh yes.
So here I've got Azrael here, my Azrael conversion that I did. and like you can see that they're both standing on rock. In fact, I would say Azrael's rock makes him a lot taller, but
Yeah,
like
he's on a bigger rock.
as befits a guy from the rock.
Yep. Ooh, ayo.
Yep, he's little. Grow big.
Yep. Crow big. John Algulander says, howdy to you, John. John's been running my sister's list, but instead of a Bloody Rose Rhino, they run an Ebon Chalice Zephyrim unit. What do you think? Not opposed to that because more Zephyrim better. Zephyrim are great. I've actually been thinking about dropping the Bloody Rose Rhino myself, although I'm still painting one just in case. And I was actually thinking of taking my 2 Bloody Rose Zephyrim units and like making them like 7 or 8 girls. I don't want the full 10 because like 10 kills everything. But also sometimes you send 5 in and it's like, ooh, 1 model with a wound left. And I'm like, that's the wrong number. That wasn't it. Like, that guy's OPSEC. This is bad. So, yeah, more Zephyrim is something after my own heart. So, John, not opposed to that at all. I say go rocket. And then Mr. Carrie K is saying 27 rocket shots per unit is insane. Yeah, you know what? That is true. And then any pointers or thoughts on a list with 60 Necron Warriors, 20 Immortals, 10 Lichguard, and 10 Death Marks with buffing characters? That is a lot of dudes. So my take is that Warriors and Immortals are an ore. And maybe that's me not being an experienced, Pharaon. But I always feel like the good lists are like either a bunch of Immortals or a bunch of Warriors. Or min and then you do something else. But I don't know. Warriors and Immortals together is weird to me. And I can't really put my finger on why.
Well, yeah, and I think you just want to like concentrate force one way or the other. I think it's fine to take so many models that just like that becomes the difficult part of the army to kill.
Yeah.
Like it just brings so many reanimation protocols that it's hard to get rid of. But to me, it like if you're all right. So my perspective is if I am taking Immortals, I want to take something that is going to buff Immortals like a lot. So I'm taking something like the Silent King. If I'm not taking the Silent King, generally I'm taking more Warriors. Mm-hmm. Like that's that's been my experience so far. But I also like because I'm trying to maximize bodies. If I'm not taking such a buffing model like the Silent King, and Immortals have done work. I don't know. I haven't played them in a few months. I've been trying to get other stuff painted and practiced and things like that. But like I love Silvertide. I think it's probably to me the most fun way to play Necrons. But I also like Immortal Spam. I think there's definitely a list there. And Toughness 5 with a 3+ armor save and reanimation protocols is really hard to get rid of.
Yeah, that's true. Kelsey Ito just came from Mob Rules, and they have to say that they love Danny's rad-saturated AdMech list.
Okay. Yeah, that was a fun list to play this weekend. I think I know the kind of some of the changes I need to make to make it a little bit better. So after playing against Nick at Charity Hammer, I realized my AdMech list doesn't. Yeah, my AdMech list doesn't really trade very well. Like it's got those huge blocks of dudes, and I think that's totally the wrong way to go, especially if you're going to play veteran cohort. So I ran 6 units of 10 Vanguard from a rad saturated Forge World with the Scarifying weapon straight. So it makes all the Radium Carbine strength 4 -1 AP, and like those guys do so much damage.
It makes them strength 4 AP1?
Yeah, dude.
That's like before a Manipulus steps in?
Yeah.
What? Excuse me? Is that like both parts of their trade, or is there like a different part? Because I know their trade is like.
Oh yeah, no. The other part of the trade is if you're over 12 inches away, ranged weapons are -1 strength against them. Yeah,
that's kind of dope.
It's just good. Like they trade against like toughness 6 and 7 vehicles really well even. But then I met my match when I played against vehicle heavy Custodes with Shadow Keepers, where they could give me -1 strength, and it was like that was lights out.
Yeah, man, Custodes are like coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, I've made it like a full hour into this without commenting on your beard, Danny, but I feel like I have to say it now.
Okay.
And it's for all the best reasons. All the best
Yeah,
reasons. You wanna enlighten the chat on where the vaunted beard has gone? What happened?
Yeah, so I literally have not shaved my face in over 10 years. And for Charity Hammer, I agreed at the end of Charity Hammer, if we kept the donations going and we reached $40,000, I would shave off my beard. So here I am, beardless, shameful. As a dwarf, if I was a dwarf, I had lost all my honor.
Mm-hmm. The source of your strength, the source of your hot
True,
takes
yeah.
was the beard.
I was like the bearded Samson.
Yes.
You nailed
it. Kelsey is asking for the story about 40K for 40K. It's exactly what it sounds like. As part of Charity Hammer, we were trying to raise $40,000 for 40K. That actually wasn't really the goal at first, but then like things went better than we were, expecting.
Than we could have ever imagined, right?
Yeah.
Like people were so generous, and what an amazing event to be that both John and I have been able to be a part of now for. Has it been 2 years for you as well, or have you done it for 3?
It has been 3, my friend.
3 years.
Yeah, I've hit it 3 in a row somehow.
So, like, what an amazing experience. I've had such an amazing time doing this. I'm really thankful that I've had the opportunity to be a part of it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's been great. So I'm very happy that I've been able to. Yeah, it's been like so worth it. So
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than that. It's a very good event, and I unfortunately did not have a beard to offer up, and I was unwilling to part with my eyebrows. So, so I simply cheered on the better men who actually had a beard to begin with, and I let them make the sacrifices for all of us. Thank you.
Don't worry, John. I'm sure we can find something for you to get rid of next year.
Yeah, well, I'm sure by if I start now, I bet I can shave my beard for Charity Hammer 2030. Yeah, I'll absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to take me a long time to replace mine. I'm right now at a week today since I shaved my beard off. So it's going to be a month or two before I regain all of full strength.
You'll get there. I have full faith in you. Let's see. Next year we should do a beard swap. Those with beard shave them off, and those without can't shave for a few weeks. Kelsey, I appreciate the faith that a few weeks is enough. If you'd like, you can go back to the early Art of War from like May of 2020, and you can find what happens when I take like about 6 months off shaving. You can just like barely see it when the light catches right. We decided to get away from that one. Leonard asks, Art of War, how do you guys want GW to change custodies? Do you want the Forge World models in the Codex? And if yes, wouldn't that make the Forge World stuff 4 years to get? I don't know what the second half of that means, I'm going to be honest with you, Leonard. However, I would like to see Forge World for everyone in the Codex. I'm just going to put that out on a limb. And I acknowledge that that's just wish listing and probably unrealistic in the immediate future. But, there's a wish, there's a way. I would like to... Man, I just want Custodes, like, I think the Dreads actually don't need any nerfs at all. I think they're great where they're at. They're, like, powerful, but they're not obvious how to use. It's a little harder than it looks, by the way. I know Custodes looks like, ooh, gold guy go forward, spend strat. But then, like, on turn 3, you realize you're out of CP and you just die. It's not that easy. So I actually really just want them to see, like, I don't want to see any points changes. I just want to see like a little bit of stat buffs to like the weapons for a lot of the non-vehicle units.
Yeah, let's make the normal Custodian Guard better, right? And
yeah,
the Terminators.
I was gonna say Shock Assault, but now that like they're not giving Shock Assault to all the alternate Marines, I say we don't do Shock Assault. We just give them +1 attack. Like, I'm sorry, but I think right now a Strike Marine has more attacks than a Custodes. And like this isn't even like an on the charge kind of thing. They just have more. I was like, okay, that doesn't feel as good as I wanted it to.
Yeah. Like
Interceptors are 3 attacks base, and when you 3 attacks base, and when you give them the glaives, they just go to 4. And like that's dope. That's cool. Good for them. I don't want to nerf that, but let's give Custodes an extra attack. Let's give their spear an extra strength in combat. Make them. I want to say damage 2 on the spears, but you know what? I would actually be okay with D3+1. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like,
Man, that'd be nasty.
getting hit by a custodian should probably hurt a lot.
Yeah.
That would be my hope. I don't know. I would also love to see like their guns like not go to like strength 5. Just like I just want to see weapon buffs on the non-vehicles. And then that's
and they
kinda
should
what I
have the
want.
best weapons in the Imperium, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
I think that everyone can agree on that.
Like I own a couple custodies because it's so easy to. But I'm not like a really a custodies player, so I don't want to like claim that I am. But like I think custodies should be the best. Like you should model to model compare custodies to any other army in the game, and custodies should win. Other than knights, but that's not the point.
Sure.
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely, they should be Hero Hammer. Also, Unleash the Lion should work on any unit, not just the Terminators. Just saying.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say unpopular opinion, because you know what? I bet everyone likes that. Unleash the Lions is dope.
Yeah, that's a cool strat. I would like to see I would like to see some of the stuff get core locked out. I mean, I think that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be fine with me if like the Telemon didn't get rerolls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's
well. Right now, the Achilles and the Galadis have core for no reason at all. Just a little bit of foreshadowing. The Telemon doesn't.
Yep.
And that doesn't matter at all. But like we can all look at that and be like, interesting. Wonder what that means. Oh yeah.
It'll be interesting if it goes to kind of more of a like instead of taking the Telemons, people take more of the littler dreads instead.
I just have 9 Custodes dreads, so like I am ready. My body is ready.
So John, I have a few Custodes because it's hard not to. Has 9 Custodian Dreadnoughts.
I might have a problem, yeah. Now that you say that, now that you mention it, I see where my flaws are. I'm not a perfect man. I don't claim to be. Yes, I have 9. It's a healthy number. Yeah. I just think they're neat.
Yeah, they're cool. I love their Dreadnoughts. They look amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're super dope. Yeah, or Unleash the Lions worked on the forward roll termies. That'd be awesome. Yeah, you know, Custodes Guardians with like a sweep attack for the spears. Like so many options here. And I genuinely expect, by the way, because the Custodes book, like the actual codex, is so boring. Like, wow, it is like unflavored oatmeal. And if you enjoy that, I'm sorry, but you are... Yeah.
You're a bad person.
I was going to say that you're boring, but I was like, should I tell them the truth? Are they ready to hear it on live YouTube? Like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but it's true. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to... I'd love to see them spice Custodians up, but like every 9th edition codex has been spicy, even if the power level has fluctuated between them. Right? That's what the Warhammer community article would say, right? I mean, it's all competitive, but like, you know, some are better than others, but anything could win, clearly. The comment section of that this morning was wild.
I was pretty surprised of some of the bold claims that were made in that article.
You know what? Bold is their middle name. Yeah, I don't know. Classy Badger, I do intend to live up to my promise of taking Pure Genestealer Cult to a GT. Really just have to decide on the when, because I've taken a couple weeks off because there just aren't any GTs like really just in like easy driving distance, and then I've got 3 majors in a 4-week span, I think, and that's probably gonna kill me. And after that, I'm gonna see if a little bit of rest and recovery. And I'm really waiting for like a GT in driving distance, if I'm being honest, because I don't want to buy a plane ticket to play Pure Genestealer Cult. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but hoping for something like an hour or 2 away, maybe something in Jacksonville or like South Georgia. Like I'll bust out some Genestealer Cult for that.
Nice.
Yeah, 3 to 4 plastic kits to remove the mandatory forge roll connection would be nice. Yeah, you know, I don't like that some armies require forge roll, and I'd love it if they didn't. But also, I am an absolute sucker for forge roll. I love forge roll, and it's a problem, and I won't apologize for it. But I just really like Forge World. I think they're neat.
Yep. Big same.
Yeah, I just think that some of the models in that are just they're just too cool to avoid. Like, I'm not even trying to escape it. Man, these Hellblaster kits. All these things have numbers, and then there's like 4 parts that have a letter on them. And I'm like, why are there 4 arms that are labeled A, B, C, and D, and everything else is numbered? Like, what are they doing?
It's actually, I don't know if you read, I read a little bit of an article on that particular kit, and it's specifically to spite you, actually.
Really? Yeah, actually, it's in the designer's commentary, right? What do you hope for the rules for Black Templars? How should the rules for the Emperor's Champion should be? All right, the Emperor's Champion should be 6 attacks base, 7 with Shock Assault. He should reroll all hits and wounds against characters and psychers. I'm gonna throw that one in there. He should be strength 6, AP 4, damage 2. You know what? He should always fight first. Period. 6-inch heroic. Period. Doesn't have to be near a character. Just 6-inch heroic fight first. 2-up armor. He should have he already has a 5 feeling pain against mortals. I was about to like say that. I'm like, wait a minute, he's Black Templars. He should be 11 points.
11.
Yeah, probably shouldn't take up a force organization slot if you have a unit of servitors in the army though. Let's see, what else can we give this guy? I don't know. Primaris transhuman. He's probably going to be a boss. Like just taking like the chapter champion, the 70-point dude, making him Primaris for like 10 points, give him +1 wound, +1 attack. That would be enough for me to take him. I have no idea what the Emperor's Champion does right now. I assume he's the exact same thing as a chapter champion, but worse for no reason.
Yeah, so I think he should have all the chapter champion rules, right? Like he'll be -1 to hit in combat.
Yeah,
absolutely. He's got like the blade parry. Like he's probably going to have a buttload of attacks.
I would like that. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like he's going to be strength 6 or strength 7, like with his sword. That seems pretty fair. I'd be kind of surprised if he was strength 8, but that would also be fine. I wouldn't be like horribly opposed to that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. I'm sure he's going to have a locked warlord trait, and I'm going to be sad about it, but we'll move on.
Probably.
He's not a named character, so I don't understand why they do that, but we can live with it.
Well, they don't want you taking like 5 Emperor's Champions.
I get why he's one. I get why he's 1 per. You know what? That one is probably okay, but I don't know. I wouldn't hate it if he didn't have a locked warlord trait, and I could give him Sword of the Imperium just to make sure. Yeah. Ooh. Let's see. Matto says the line Morven Vol is extremely prominent for the Adeptus Sororitas. Scares me as a Sisters player, hoping to avoid the classic triple nerf. Yeah. I don't think Sisters require major balance adjustments.
No.
I really don't. And I'm hoping that they don't get them, because that would suck. And I would just stop playing them, and that would be it. What I'm hoping for is Celestine plus like 10, 15 points, and like Immolator minus 10 or 15 points. And also that I can use both of my cherubs. I'm hoping for that as well. Because flip a coin, right? Like every tournament is ruling a different thing on that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it would be nice to see clarification for sure on the Ardent Shroud vehicle thing.
Oh yeah, like pour one out. Like I was kind of like already like not loving Ardent Shroud, and I couldn't figure out why. And then like, you know, Reddit came down from, you know, the top of Mount Sinai, like Ardent Shroud no longer exists. I'm like, oh cool, well that makes things easy. Should he be a buffing character or a character killer? The Emperor's Champion should be able to look anyone in the eye and then stab their eye out with the black sword. That's what I think. Like the Emperor's Champion should like be able to look at something and be like, your time is now, and he should beat the brakes off of them. I wouldn't
He used
mind
to like get to reroll to hits and to wounds against characters.
He still might have that. I really don't know what the Emperor's Champion does.
It's been a long time since I played against him.
What I remember is that I was writing Black Templar list, and I read the Emperor's Champion rules, and I got really unexcited, and I decided not to take him. That's what I distinctly remember.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't great. Because, like, I looked at him, and then I realized that, like, a normal chapter champion that you, like, give a relic to is just a better Emperor's Champion. I'm like, ooh, that doesn't feel good. But then, of course, Black Templars can't take a chapter champion at all because they have an Emperor's Champion.
Is that in their list of prohibited units?
Yeah, they can't. They can take a company champion. They cannot take a chapter champion.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I'm sad about it, but it makes sense.
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't mind if he had like a on a 6 to wound, he's like damage 4, or like on a 6 to wound you can't take invulns against him or something like that.
Or even mortal wounds, that'd be cool
or
too.
mortal wounds.
Yeah, all the those would be fine.
Yeah. Could have the Emperor's Champion deal mortal wounds. Yeah, you know what, that is very popular for GW right now. Just make him stern. You know, the Emperor's Champion is stern. Right? I mean, he wasn't gonna use Miracle Ice anyway, so just make him stern. That'll work. No, like actually having the black sword ignore invulnerable saves would actually be pretty dope.
That'd be really powerful. That'd be awesome.
It would be. Like he walks 6 inches, and if they change their advance and charge to being core locked, that actually might work. I don't want the Emperor's Champion to advance and charge and like kill it, like be picking up like Magnus. I mean, I that's not true. I do want that dearly, but I acknowledge why we shouldn't get that.
Yeah. Yep. That's fair.
Yeah. I always have to put the caveat on that. Like, all right. The truth is Tau should not be balanced. However, for everyone else's sake, I will allow it.
For the Tau players, I suppose.
Yes. So that Richard will smile again. Would that make you smile, Richard?
I just figured the AdMech book came out and he was smiling the whole time.
Yeah, no, it's actually not smiling at all. It makes it.
I see.
It makes it less. It makes it less fun. It's more painful this way.
Yeah.
There is no joy in his eyes. There's only rage. I hope he would get the treatment to ignore feel no pain rules or Catan rules. You know what? That would also be cool. That would be creative. You know what? Yeah. You know what, Mira? I like that. You give him like 6 attacks, so 7 with shock assault, strength 7, AP4 damage 2. He ignores damage reduction and rolls to ignore wounds. He doesn't have to ignore, and then like on a 6 to wound, he ignores invulns. Doesn't need to be all the attacks ignoring invulns. I think that would be too much if you did both of those. Like I think a 6 is okay. I also really want them to replace their super doctrine with literally anything else. I would accept like, I don't know, a coupon to Subway, like instead of their super doctrine. Like if you walked up to me before a tournament that I was playing Black Templars at, and you said, John, I will buy you lunch if you don't use the Black Templar super doctrine for this grand tournament, I would shake your hand and like eat well. Like not even a doubt.
No, John, it's eat fresh.
Oh, curses. Yeah, I would rather eat fresh than have the super doctrine. Like I don't know, it'd be cool if they got like vows. You know, like they swear a vow before the game, like this is who we're angry at, or like, and you know one of the vows is going to actually be devout push. They're going to remove the stratagem, don't worry. But then one of the vows is just like, yeah, your army consolidates at the beginning of the fight phase. Like what can go wrong?
Your whole army just gets to do devout push every turn.
Yeah, well, they just consolidate towards the enemy warlord, so it's really not that bad.
Oh god.
It's like what? Oh yeah, it's gonna get wacky and wild today.
Well, what did you expect?
Mm-hmm. Bringing back the old pregame oaths like that, like they had back in the day, would be super cool. Absolutely, I'm really hoping that their super doctrine turns into something with oaths. Yeah, and you know what? I actually hope they get rid of devout push, and that makes me sad because devout push is like the coolest thing in the world, but also like devout push is broken, and the army kind of sucks without it. So I would rather they remove it and they'd like then buff everything else, and just make Black Templars a cool army of people that chained their chain swords to their arms for some reason, and they are now hitting people with it. To be clear, they did not turn the chain sword on. This is just a bat. There is rage in their eyes.
Like you said, John, they woke up today and chose violence.
Every day, Danny.
Every day.
Building hellblasters. Never gonna use them, but the thought counts. Corsaro Con versus Con on bike versus Captain on bike. What are my thoughts? Corsaro Con forever. Easy. No problem. It's definitely not the Con on bike, because anytime you could take a Con on bike, instead take a Captain on bike. They do the same thing, and one of them has warrior options. And like, I don't know why the Con on the bike exists, other than so that you can take a power spear. Like, why didn't they just take the Captain on bike and say that if he's White Scars, he can take a power spear? Like, you know what? That's actually a thing that pisses me off. You know what? We're gonna rant about it now. Look what you have started, Snivar. So, like, Blood Angel captains can take a hand flamer, which is cool, right? No objections. Like, not everyone gets that. That's okay. But then, like, instead of having a data sheet for captain with hand flamer, they were just like, yeah, if he's Blood Angels, he can take a hand flamer. Okay. And then White Scars, their bike captain can take a spear. And instead of just giving an upgrade option to the bike captain, like, yeah, he can take a spear, they were just like, here's an entire new data sheet that cannot take any other options. And I'm like, man, kind of wish I could take, like, a Storm Shield with this. That would be nice. Yep, having a Storm Shield would help. But that is not an option.
He has a wimpy Storm Shield.
He does. He has, like, a buckler. I think it's, like, ignore AP1 in combat.
It's +1 save in combat. He just
That's not bad.
It.
Oof, Danny's schooling me on White Scar rules. I'm not comfortable. Yeah, so it's like a Storm Shield that doesn't work in shooting. Like, it's not bad. But I would, since I don't really
Why wouldn't you just take a Storm Shield?
Yeah, there you have it, Danny. That's the answer right there, isn't it? GW has been bringing back stuff from the past, like Trueborn and side grading, like signature stuff. Yeah, I would love to see like them bring back some classic Black Templar stuff. Other than Lazplaz Razorbacks, those can rot in hell. But everything else from the faction's history that like make any sense, that would be okay. And yes, accept any challenge no matter the odds is a classic. I still have like the OG Black Templar Codex from like 3rd edition. Don't ask why, I didn't play it, but I have it. Just because I have it for funsies. Like I really like Black Templars, and I think I bought the Codex for like $5 at like a used bookstore, like because it was still legal. Like it was like a bunch of 3rd edition codexes that were like not able to be used at the time, and then it was the old Black Templars Codex. I'm like, this is actually still the Black Templars Codex. I guess I'll just get it for $5. Why not? So I have it, and you know what? Accept any challenge no matter the odds. That was pretty cool. Hellblaster time. These guys are gonna. I'm doing the Assault Hellblasters, although I'm gonna be honest. If I put down this unit, I'm pretty sure I could say that any gun in the world and no one would disagree.
Yeah. Well, like first of all, if somebody knows, there's a good chance that they just don't care.
They're the Venn diagram of people who know and people who care has to be so impossibly small. There's actually only one person in it. I haven't met him yet, but he is waiting for me.
But Tom is such a dick.
Let's see here. Satisfying sound of clippers.
So what kind of clippers do you use, John?
Ooh, wow, we are getting deep and personal. These are Army Painter clippers. I got them for free at a tournament because I was in a raffle and they gave me a very small Army Painter hobby set. And they haven't broken yet. And you know what? Nice. That is good enough for me. Although they do have a little bit of a bend to them, which is kind of weird. And I don't know how to fix it. There's like a little bend at the tip. And it wasn't supposed to be there. Like I'm pretty sure I tried to clamp something that was not supposed to be snipped.
Oh, like a piece of wire?
Yeah, and it just like kind of bent. I'm like, okay. Dun dun dun. Mega Ronin says they just signed up for the Worm. Much improved, looking great new content. Thank you so much, Mega Ronin. If you're looking for access to the Discord, send me an email and I can email you a link. Easy as that. So just email the contact email. It's contact@theartofwar40k.com. If you've already done that, then I'm sorry. I kind of went on a lunch date instead of reading my emails this morning, so you're going to get that right after this anyways. But send it to contact@theartofwar40k.com, and you'll get a link this afternoon. Yeah, it's a Friday when I, like, maybe slept in a little bit. Like, just a tad.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's okay on a Friday.
Yeah. I didn't realize, like going to law school, that Fridays were actually going to be so busy. But I
Oh,
had
that's
3
the
classes
worst.
today. Yeah. Why would you do this to me?
Yeah. See, that was my favorite part of being an upperclassman, was like realizing that I could like start like tweaking my schedule to not have Fridays in it. And that was actually pretty great. Then I started just working on Fridays because that was life at the time. But you know what? It was nice.
For sure.
Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate the kind words though, Mega Ronin. Alrighty. A second Hell Blaster. The enemies of the Imperium have nowhere to hide.
They're quaking.
Get quaking in their boots, as they should be. And the Hellblasters actually have some cool head options, I'm not gonna lie here.
You know, you could use those heads on something else too if you wanted to.
It's true. This guy has like a bunch of scar tissue and a mohawk.
Oh yeah, that guy's cool.
He is not happy with anything that's going on. And they've got some good rebreather heads. You know what? I really don't like painting skin, but we might toss that on some of the guys.
You just hate skin, is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. The flesh is weak, right?
It's true.
So we're going to get a little lore crazy here for no reason other than to prove that I've read a book. Fun fact, the flesh is weak is the first half of the quote. There's a whole second half. You're an Iron Hands player.
Sean, what's the second half of that?
Do you know the second half of it? 'Cause it's a quote from Ferrus Manus.
The machine is strong? Is that what it is?
No, it's the flesh is weak, but deeds endure. So like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. So it's a quote from Ferrus Manus, and he's like talking to his sons like before they're about to die in battle and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, the flesh is weak, but deeds endure. They'll remember us for like being strong." And like the Iron Hands, when yeah, spoiler alert by the way. I'm sorry if you haven't read the Horus Heresy and you like have been waiting like 13 years to start. Spoilers are coming. Ferrus Manus dies. And when he does, boy howdy are they not happy about it.
Yeah.
Right? Am I paraphrasing correctly?
No, that's totally right.
That's what happened? All right, great. So the Iron Hands go kind of crazy about it. And they're all like, yeah, you know what? Ferrus Manus died because we were so weak. We were so weak. We were using our fleshy little arms and it just wasn't enough. We're going to use robot arms, and that way our Primarch will never die again. Which, to be fair, has worked so far.
Yeah.
Yep, it's technically correct.
He hasn't died a second time.
He has not. He sure hasn't. So, and they were like, they keep saying like the flesh is weak because that was something Ferrus Manus once said. And like the whole point of the quote was like, yeah, no, it's like, it's okay to be fleshy and mortal because they'll remember us by our strength and by our deeds. And like, they 100% took that out of context.
Nobody's ever done that in 40K, not even once.
Not even twice.
Cough, cough, Imperial Creed, cough.
Yikes. Dun, dun, dun. Have I read the Alfarius Head of the Hydra book yet, John? No, I have not, Snivar. It was actually on my reading list ahead of Luther, and then I kind of got handed a limited edition copy of Luther at the GW tournament. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna read this one first. So,
is it good?
You know what? I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a Dark Angel book that is about the Fallen, but this one is better than most of them. I actually really enjoyed it as a player who has sometimes played Dark Angels but isn't really a Dark Angel player. But they've got good lore, especially, you know, Heresiary. I like Dark Angel lore a lot. There's so many chapters that like the 30K lore is so much better than the 40K lore.
Okay. Legit, White Scars in 30K are way cooler than White Scars in 40K.
You're not wrong. No, you're not even wrong.
Okay, cool. Good.
White Scars in 30K are why I play White Scars in 40K. Like if the 30K comes back, right? There's been some like rumors that they're gonna like launch a new like redo. I'm 100% gonna like actually start painting White Space Marines and just hate myself for it. And my wallet, it'll be terrible. I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to. No, 30K White Scars are like, woo.
That's a spicy meatball.
It's a spicy meatball. Classy Badger, that is a very accurate quote. Yeah, that's literally exactly what's happening here. Good old Iron Hands. Yoni, thank you so much for the super chat. Glad you could join us live. Yes, whenever you hear about a Venn diagram, You think of Van Dyer Goj, the evil pimp daddy of the Imperium. You know what? Evil pimp daddy of the Imperium. I feel like I should get that on a jersey or something.
Man, that sounds like a awesome title.
That is a powerful nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meadow, yeah. Horace lamenting how he got stuck with all of the loser damaged Primarchs. Like, you know what, Horace? You got to pick softball teams before anyone else knew there was a draft. You can't complain. I'm sorry. But, like, come on. You weren't alternating picks here. This was not a snake draft, Horace. Get over yourself. Right? You know, I feel like there's just some personal accountability there.
You're not wrong here, John. You're not wrong.
Good. Doge Van Dyer is the best meme out there. There's a Doge Van Dyer. God, I would enjoy that. You know what? Let's get some spicy hot memes in here. Doge Van Dyer. Just like wailing on all the heretics with the bonk bat. Absolutely. Sign me up, coach.
That's amazing.
I have not seen this meme, but speaking it into existence, it pleases my brain. Alrighty. Alright, we are making progress on these Hellblasters, folks. We are getting there. Can you imagine if these guys are good again? Just like, how many points do you think a Hellblaster needs to be, Danny? Like, what are we talking here? Because it's an intercessor that's not a troop choice. And if you do the assault version, when it overheats, it's 20. It's like an auto bolt rifle that's strength 7, AP 3, damage 2. And if you don't overheat, it's strength 6, damage 1. So it's, it's assault 3, 24-inch range.
Do you feel like 27 points is too many points to pay for that model?
I don't. I think 27 would be enough. Like, because like you're replacing. It's an intercessor, and you're basically replacing the bolt gun with a plasma gun. But the bolt gun is obviously a better bolt gun, and the plasma gun is a better plasma gun. So like I feel like that scales up, and then you lose the troop choice, which is genuinely impactful here.
It is. It really is.
So yeah, I feel like 27, 28. I would pay 28 for that. I'm going to be honest with you. I would pay 28 points for Hellblaster with an assault plasma.
And they're what, like 32 right now?
They're 33 right now. I like to check every like 3 or 4 weeks just in case I missed it. But yeah, I've got a couple units like that. Like every once in a while I go, I'm like, I wonder how much a Stone Crusher Carnifex is. I'm like 130. Oh. Holy, yeah, no, it's done. Yeah, ooh, it's not.
Man, I have a good story about Stone Crusher Carnifexes.
Oh, lay it on me, Danny. You know I like these stories.
No, you're not going to like this story.
Oh no. Okay, I'll hear it anyway.
So 7th edition, the new Tau book comes out, and my friend and co-host John, we match up at a tournament, and I've brought the new Storm Surge, right?
Oh.
Which is a super big deal, and like John has decided, all right, I need something that's going to take out these super heavy vehicles, so I'm going to run 2 broods of Stone Crusher Carnifexes. Mm-hmm. And so he's running up the table, and he's got them screened out okay, but I managed to wipe out the screen, and I'm like, well, either he's going to charge me with these Stone Crushers or I'm going to charge him, so let's throw the Storm Surge into combat. And I actually had moved it up too, just in case, like so I'd make sure I was in charge range. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna nail these Stone Crushers. And he's like, how? I'm like, you'll see. So I make my smash attacks, blah 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 blah, and then I roll, I roll up with the stomp attacks that he got because he was a Lord of War.
No.
And I stomped out the entire brood of Stone Crusher Carnifexes, and John's like, so you're telling me the thing that has to lock its legs to shoot better just kicked to death all of my close combat specialist like bioorganisms? And I'm like, yeah, pretty much that just happened. And he had just like painted them up and everything. It was classic new model syndrome, right?
Oh man, is this why John just takes pictures now? Was that the moment? Was that the moment you broke a man?
No, it was way before that.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. No, John likes to play. John played Peter at Charity Hammer, actually.
Oh, I might have been asleep for that. Charity Hammer's a blur. I actually couldn't tell you
Very
anything that
possible.
happened there.
Dude, there's so much going on, right?
Oh
All the
my
time.
goodness. I don't think the people who people watch it, but I think if you're not there, I don't think you understand like just how much Monday hurts afterwards.
Dude, I was out of action for 2 whole days. Like I was so tired, I slept for like at least 12 hours the next day. Like I was exhausted.
Yeah. And the way the time change works when you're going from Florida to Washington,
man.
when you're getting there, it's fantastic. Like, I got like an afternoon flight, like 2 p.m. Still got there around like 8 or 9 p.m. like local time. I'm like, yeah, this isn't so bad. We can grab some dinner, hang out a little bit before we go to bed. This is fine. We're just getting used to the new time zone. When you get back, like we got on our plane at like 6 in the morning, and I still got home at like 5:30 p.m. And I'm like, wow. This day just didn't happen. This just crossed it out on the calendar.
Yeah.
It did not. It was not bueno. So, and then I died. And on Tuesday, boy howdy, did nothing happen.
I rose from the grave.
I don't know if I did. Like, I played a game of Warhammer on a stream, because, I hadn't really done that recently. And that was it. Like, that was like, I like woke up at like 12:30, played a game at 1, went to bed at about 4 p.m. That was it. That was the day. Woke up, played a game of Warhammer, went back to sleep. And actually, you know what? It felt very comforting being back in the routine. No, it was, Charity Hammer takes it out of you. Totally worth it. 100%.
Oh man, so much fun. But yeah, it is, it's exhausting.
Yeah, I'm glad that Colin only invites me to that once a year.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to necessarily do it more than that.
Did Nick move the boulder blocking my door? Exactly. Yeah, you just roll the stone back, and I just like lurk out of the cave with like baggy eyes, like, who dares disturb my slumber? And then I just like rolled dice, tabled, Nick went back to bed. We rolled the stone back. That's it. That's all that happens.
Oh, why does Nick keep doing that to himself?
You know what? It's a wonderful thing. Actually, we do it to him. Sometimes we like change the schedule when he's not looking, and then he just like doesn't notice, and he just like publishes it, and we're like, hey man, you published a schedule here. It's like, I'm playing Jack's Blood Angels again? It's like, yeah, wow, how does this keep happening?
Why are you doing this to yourself? Stop hitting yourself.
Precisely. What are we doing with this arm? Oh yeah, there's a plasma gun. We got this. More plasma guns. Just what the Emperor needs. I don't know, these things like have to be good in Dark Angels, right? Like +1 damage. That's a good strat.
I mean, I would say they're not terrible. Right?
Definitely.
I don't think they're good though.
I other comforting lies that I tell myself when I sleep.
Yeah.
I choose to believe. I believe in the Hellblasters. Against my better judgment and mathy statistics. It's just that they're so cool. It's just, I don't know why a Marine with a plasma gun is cool. Like, we've had these for years, but for some reason, Hellblasters do it for me.
No, dude, I think they're really cool. I mean, that used to be a list.
Yeah, that used to be a Dark Angel list. That was, like, legitimately a thing. I remember, like, Phil ran it a bunch. Like, he did, like, the banner where every time they died on a 2-up, they, like, shot again.
Mm-hmm.
And you just, like, overcharge and just wait to see what happens. It's like, yeah, I rolled a couple ones. We're going to keep shooting you. It's like, oh, okay. I've been waiting to try Ryza with their plasma strat one day. Ryza's dope. Like, I mean, not that the AdMech players really need the encouragement right now, but literally all of it. All of AdMech.
All of it's good.
Like, you know what? Honestly, you know how you can like either choose your psychic powers or like roll a table like before the game? I think if the rules allowed it, you could choose to roll a d6 on the AdMech sub-factions before the game. I think you could do it.
You could make a list that made that work. Oh, for sure.
100%. Like, if you just roll, like, are there 6 Forge Worlds? Or are there 7? I feel like there's 6. Maybe, I might be wrong.
I think there's 6 or there's 8.
Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. All right, so there's Ryza, Metallica, Mars, Lucius, Graia, and Agrippina? Did I send out? Oh, hold on. All right.
And Agrippina.
So 7?
I feel like we're missing one. Maybe that is all of them. I don't know. Do I have an admit book? God, it's all the way up here.
Oh, I'm making Danny stand up. What a shame. All right, let me know here.
What are you doing to me, John?
I think you could roll a d6 on the faction table before the game started.
And just like skip out on Mars.
Yeah.
Okay. It is 7. You're right.
7? Dang it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping for 6. All right. Well, Danny, if you can find yourself a d7, I'll give it to you.
I can. I know how to make one of those.
Ooh, fancy boy.
So you could make one if it's. Have you ever seen those crystal dice?
Yeah.
So like it would have to be a cylinder, like the Lumineth ones, kind of, like with 7 sides.
Oh yeah, that would work. Yeah, you just make like the edge of the cylinder slightly round, so there's just like no way that it lands on it, and you're good.
Yep.
Oh god, I forgot those Lumineth dice.
Yeah.
So like, all right. So we always joke about what's the worst dice in Warhammer, and everyone immediately leads off with Death Guard because anyone who plays them should be burned at the stake. I will not apologize for that. But like the Orc Squig dice are also really bad. I forgot the Lumineth dice, and you know what? I think the Lumineth dice may be worse than like the Death Guard dice, because it's just not being a cube is offensive to me.
There's a worse dice than those, I think, honestly, for Major Sigmar.
Okay, lay it on me. What do we got?
The Eidenet the pin dice. Have you seen those?
Oh, I think, are they the ones that are clear and like...
Yeah, they're clear, but you can see both the sides from the top. So it's like impossible to know what you've rolled. Good.
I'm gonna pull this up. I wanna really see this. Is this? Ooh, wow, that is a thing right there. That is, someone designed that. You're right. Someone did design that. Oh, so the worst part is like the first image is the GW stock image, and you know what? They look pretty cool. And then there's a picture that someone took of their dice. And
yeah, there you go.
We're gonna, man, if you haven't seen these, so you know, if you haven't seen it, go Google it. Like, go ahead. It's a treat. I'm kidding. It's terrible. Yeah, no, these Eidenet dice are pretty bad. Yeah, I would not want that. Roll a D10, 8 to 10 is custom. Yeah, so many hot takes in this stream. Absolutely, that's what we're here for. The hard to read wound markers are triggering. It's only, you know what? People, man. Oof. People who do count like up instead of down also. Or sorry, people. What is it? People who count the wrong way, who do wounds taken not remaining.
Yeah. I don't care for the. There's those ones that look like I forgot what they're called, but they look fairly phallic.
The dice?
No, the wound counters.
Oh.
They're like, it's like a...
Oh, yeah, because it's got like the 2 dials.
Like a strip, right? And then it's got like a rubber band across it, and like it goes between the different, like...
Oh, wow, that's creative.
Yeah, they're definitely ribbed.
Oh. Oh, no. That's not good. I don't like that.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yep, that's true. It does. Oh, yeah, nope, not a fan. Okay. Oh boy. Those are the same people who play Magic together and put their lands in front of their creatures. Kelsey, I'm so sorry that I completely missed that reference.
Anybody who does that is a monster. Kelsey's 100% right there.
Yeah. Matt O says, I should feel shame as a counter-upper. That depends, Matt. If you have a Rhino, and I do 2 wounds to it, if you put a 2 next to that Rhino, then yes, I will jump across the table and strangle you. And it's not personal, I promise. Absolutely not. There is nothing personal about that.
Just the way that it is.
Yeah, I do not make the rules. I really promise. Oh, I found, hold on. There are letters inside the hands. I found it.
Hell yeah.
There's, what? So I have a B and an E. I have a B arm and an E hand because they were next to each other. Gosh darn it. Where does it end? Where does it end? How do you find this? Oh, this is the worst. They're on a different sprue. Why would they do that? That's crazy. The E gun and the E arm are on a different sprue. I don't like that at all. Like, can you just put them next to each other?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll roll with it. But, whew, that is not what I wanted. Okay. Let's see. I start with a D4 on rhino wounds. What? Matto, I don't know what you're saying. We may have some. I don't really know what you're saying there, buddy. I'm gonna choose not to think too hard about that one because it's making me angry.
You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, is what John is saying.
That's exactly. Read between the lines there. Yes, Kelsey, you are learning exactly how to put me on tilt. If you play me at the finals of LVO and you bust out the Ideneth Deepkin dice on stream, I may lose the whole tournament on that. Straight up, like that. I'm done. I'm out of there.
All right, I'm bringing those with me to LVO now for sure.
The Ideneth dice, 100%.
Yeah.
The secret is it's going to become an endurance game because Danny's eyes are going to start bleeding about partway through the game. Or what's really going to happen is it becomes a game where I try to steal Danny's glasses, and he stubbornly pretends he can still read the dice. He's like, no, man, that's totally a 6. What are you talking about?
Look, dude, do I need to get a judge to watch this entire game? Because I'll do it.
Kelsey says that you're watching a friend build a Gundam kit, and all of the parts were in order. You know what? That sounds nice. That would be nice, yeah. Like, you say those words out loud and it literally doesn't process to me. It's like when Sam's talking to Frodo, he's like, do you remember summer? And Frodo's like, nope. Like, I've been building GW kits too long, I don't even know what in order means. That's why Ideneth used them, they don't have eyes. Do Ideneth not have eyes?
Some of the models don't have eyes yet.
Oh, that's kind of dope, not gonna lie. Ooh, Danny, is that a Soul Reaper cannon you got there?
It's a Soul Reaper cannon and a Hellfire missile launcher on one guy.
One guy can take both?
Yeah, there's no requirement.
Oh, that's kind of dope. All right. Noted. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I got shot by those the top rockets. They're like not bad.
Yeah, they went from I think they were D3 damage and now they're flat 3.
Oh, wow. What? I thought they were still D3 damage, but like they're like 10 points in like D3 damage, I think. Like it's something like shockingly reasonable for the points cost.
Yeah, they're only 10 points for the rocket launcher.
Yeah, which is like at that point it's like, yeah, just toss it in, right? Like I can find 10 points to have like Kraken missiles. I think it is D3 damage, but like, come on, 10 points? Toss me in.
Yeah, for 10 points, yeah, I'm into it. Hold on, now I'm looking it up because I don't want to be wrong.
It's too late. You already said it on stream.
Oh, no.
Are they D3 damage?
No.
Please tell me they're not 1, because then I'm going to be
No,
mad.
they're D3. They're D3.
Okay, but like 10 points, though.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's bargain town.
Yep.
Sark is currently building Infinity models. Those models are metal with 20 components and no instructions. Okay.
Good luck, man.
Those are words that you just said, and I choose not to think any more about that. That sounds painful. I'm sorry, Sark.
Yeah, man, I played Infinity for a while. That is a very, very complicated game. It's too complicated for my super smooth unwrinkled brain. Yep.
Oh. Yeah, apparently the Namarti thralls don't have eyes. Good. You know what? That's okay though. I bet that makes it easier to paint, and it also goes along with my paint style very well, which is to put a wash over the entire face and not paint the eyes. Yeah. I mean, it's worked out well for me, so I don't really feel the need to change it.
Yeah. If it's working.
Yeah, like what, I have like 150 guardsmen, and none of their eyes are painted. Because, why would I do that?
Who's got time for that shit?
There you go. Look at that Scarab Cult Terminator coming along here.
Heck yeah, he's done.
Heck
He's
yeah.
built. Now I just have 4 more to finish up.
No problem. Well, I still have a lot of Hellblasters left, but that's okay. We're getting there. It's the thought that counts. All right. I forgot how long the Primaris kits take to build. You know, actually, I'm gonna get on the soapbox here. I think the worst infantry kit, like as far as building wise, that GW has made, is the I don't know if you've played Necromunda, but it's their Palatine Enforcer, like their Arbites, whatever kit.
Oh yeah.
That kit. First of all, the models are sweet looking. Like when you're done, like ooh buddy, those models look great. I use them for my scouts because the current scouts look terrible next to a Primaris model, but now I don't use them at all. So that model I think is the most annoying infantry to build I've ever seen, because the legs are 2 parts each. So you get like a waist piece and then like a 2-part leg. So like it's like 5 parts to build the legs down, and then it's a 2-part torso.
Each leg is 2.
Each leg is 2. Dude, it is insane how many little pieces are in that. And then they have a different. So it's a 2-part torso, which is like self-explanatory. But then there's also a neck piece that you have to put inside the 2-part torso. And if you don't put it in first, it's like much harder to get in.
Lovely.
And then you put the head on, and then the arms, like all of their options are two-handed weapons, because of course they are. Okay. And then they're all lined up in very specific pairs, with like the hand half built in the arm and half built on the gun. So you have to use the right arm for the right gun, and you have to get the combination right. And like if you read the instructions, the numbers do line up correctly, but there's nothing on the actual miniature to tell you like this is the arm that should go with this gun. So it's just insanely tedious.
Oh man, that sounds super annoying.
Yeah, I built like 20 scout. I built like 10 scouts and then decided I wasn't willing to play Raven Guard anymore. And that's literally how I chose White Scars. Like I was like building scouts and I'm like, you know what? I think these 10 are enough and I don't need any more. I'm not going to play Raven Guard. And I just moved on with my life.
I get it. And fair point to you. Like,
yeah, can you imagine like what kind of a dark timeline am I a Raven Guard player right now?
Like the darkest. I don't want to think about it.
That is the darkest timeline. We don't talk about these things. I just built a backpack with 4 parts. Oh, Kelsey, you must not be talking about the Inceptor backpack, because that is like 8. Well, the Inceptor is a big enough model because it's like not a 10 per kit kind of thing that I can kind of tolerate it. But the Necromunda Enforcers are like literally 10 models in a box. So like building 10 of them takes forever. I hated those models, but they looked so good when they were like built, so I can't complain that much. I think it took me like literally like 2 football games. Like I just like turned on the TV and like I just kind of like started building these guys and swearing, and then like it was like overtime, and I'm like, holy god, like this just happened. What?
Why am I not done with these yet?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, but the models are very good looking. So like, I guess that's the price you pay, is, you know, several hours of agony. All right,
it's true.
How's the build? They are good looking models. I cannot deny that one. Thousand Suns have cool rules, and again, like Grey Knights, I have literally no idea what a competitive Thousand Suns army looks like. But there's a bunch of things in there that I'm like, that has to be part of the list, right? I just really don't know what the 2K version looks like.
I feel like it's some Rubric Marines, like it could be between 10 to 20, at least 1 big squad of Scarab Cult, and then I think you've got some Contemptors, and then some Spawn, or I think the Enlightened on discs are very good.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap.
Yeah, they're really cheap and fast. So, yeah, that's.
I think you're right, but my heart of hearts was hoping that you were going to say Mutilith Vortex Beast at some point in that sentence, and I was a little disappointed we didn't get it.
mean, it could be in there. I mean, it's cheap enough. It's only 145 points, right?
Yeah. If you believe in your dreams hard enough, maybe the Mutalith will make it in.
That's
right.
basically the rule of the Thousand Sons Army. If you believe in your dreams hard enough, they just become reality.
Exactly. You understand, Danny. All right. Well, I think we are just about ready to wrap up the stream. But Danny, hopefully you're at a natural breaking point. But
yeah, I finished up all my Scarab Occult.
Perfect.
So I got done all them. I got done these 2 characters, my Infernal Magister, and Castle and Crow. So I'm real happy with the progress that I've made today.
There you go. Well, Danny, I really appreciate you coming on and joining us today. I could plug all of the places that you're on, but I think you would do a better job than I would. So I'm going to let you take that one.
Awesome. Well, you can if you enjoyed our chat today, you can find many other chats, some raunchier, some not. Either on Mob Rules, which is we do a once monthly podcast with my co-host John, where we kind of just talk about all stuff 40K, what's going on with us, that kind of thing. And then we also do Grim After Dark, where we have guests on every week. That's on the Frontline Gaming Network. And we talk about all different subjects. We talk about competitive 40K. We talk about fluff. We talk about all different aspects of the hobby. And so hopefully you'll join us for one of those. Grim After Dark broadcasts live on the Frontline Gaming Network every Tuesday at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. We had John on as a guest. And we're going to have Nick on this week, actually.
Ooh, that's exciting.
So yeah, we're excited to have him on. Yeah, so come and check us out whenever you have a chance.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for watching, as always, our unusually timed Hangout and Hobby. We will be back in action on Monday as normal, where we'll have another YouTube stream at 1 p.m. Monday. So if you enjoyed this, check us back out on Monday. We'll be there. And yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. And we're out of here. Bye-bye.